Today we're going to cover what sellers and realtors need to understand about seller financing. Hi, I'm Julia Way with the law offices of Peter N. Brewer. Today, in the tight capital markets that we are experiencing, we're starting to see some more offers that have the buyer asking for the seller to carry back financing. This is as an alternative to conventional financing. What we are answering for our realtors and for their clients is, what is it that the seller is really undertaking? They are now becoming a lender in this transaction. So today I've made a list of some of the primary considerations for the seller to think about and how they're addressed in the car seller financing addendum and disclosure. The first thing that the seller has to consider is the loan terms themselves. So is this going to be a short-term loan where it's contemplated that the borrower will take them out with conventional financing within 5 years or 7 years, or is this going to be a much longer-term arrangement? In addition to the term of the loan, certainly the interest rate is a consideration. It needs to be below the rate for usury. And in addition to that, it needs to reflect whether or not it's going to be an interest-only note or if there's going to be amortized payments each month for the borrower. In order for the seller to determine the borrower's creditworthiness, the other component of underwriting this loan is that the borrower is going to have to provide information to the seller, such as the credit report, their employment verification, and other details that normally a seller wouldn't necessarily see in a more vanilla transaction. So this dovetails into something that is not on the form that I'd like to cover, which is the seller is now in the position of needing to protect the borrower's privacy. They will be holding the borrower's financial documentation and should consider how they are going to deal with the privacy issues that come from holding the borrower's financial information. And lastly, for the seller, the primary reason that they are making this loan to the buyer is to close the transaction and ultimately get paid. However, as we all remember, there were a number of foreclosures during the recent subprime meltdown. That means that if the borrower defaults, the seller's primary method to recover their money from this transaction is to actually foreclose on the borrower. If this is something that the seller is not prepared to do, then seller financing would not be an appropriate option or type of offer for the seller to consider. To read my blog article and other insightful articles from the attorneys here at this firm, please visit www.bayarearealestatelawyers.com.